once. And, I think I might have.
Like you're so far away now.
Chrome didn't shut down correctly. Restore, I guess.
I'll lean over.
Good computer. Good computer. You can do this. We
Okay.
believe in
What you
you.
need to, Pam.
I can, anyway.
I don't know. I sent the same message to Molly and I talked to you yesterday and I was like, just reminder, we have a meeting. So I don't know. All right, we are going to call hold on, this is not the right meeting. This is the Downtown Development Authority. And I was at this meeting and it was a very lovely meeting. I have the agenda in front of me and I can do that, but it's okay. I can do it off. I even printed my own. It's fine.
Good.
But I just pulled it up and went, not so much. Cause Jody Arp and Bernie Byer and are so much not here. All right. Special meeting, Cedar Springs City Council. I will call the meeting to order for Thursday, July 7th, 2022 at 7:06 p.m. Please rise with me and say the pledge if you feel so inclined. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. And with that, I will call the roll. Miss Atchison. Here. Mr. Gross.
Here.
Miss Hamma. Present. Miss Nixon. Miss Powell.
Here.
Miss Race. And Mayor Conley is here. At this time, I will entertain a motion to excuse Miss Race and Miss Nixon.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries. They're excused. If they come in late, we will obviously entertain them. Public comments. The council welcomes and encourages the public to speak during the public comment and public hearing portions of the agenda. However, council policy is to hear the public comment, not to act on the public comment at this time. Concerns brought before the council during the public comment portion of the agenda will be referred to the city manager for action. If after communicating with the city manager, no resolution is reached, the concern will be elevated to the mayor and then eventually to the council for action. Those citizens wishing to speak on agenda or non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes to address their concerns. This is the only time during the council meeting that citizens are allowed to address the council. If you would like a response, please state your name. And we need to really take address off because we put this on video. Your name for the record. Do I have anyone who would like to speak?
Good evening. My name is Dan Spitzbergen. I live on 13 Mile. And I'd like to thank you for calling this special meeting this evening. I hope that it's a productive one. And I'd just like to say that I hope that we can get some resolution tonight. There has been no litigation started yet. And so since we are just us and you talking, I'm hoping we can maybe even discuss things with you if at all possible, if there are any questions. And I just thank you again for calling the special meeting tonight.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Your time doesn't start until you start talking. Well, I was just gonna say, but take as long as you need to walk up to the,
I'm just glad to be walking.
amen.
I just want to say, Mark Laws, I'm sorry for the record. I appreciate you guys taking the opportunity to serve on the council. And that's always a good thing. And it's nice to be able to walk into City Hall and be greeted by at least 2, sometimes 3 smiling faces from the gals up front there. And every time I've ever been in there and Mike's available, he's always comes out and talks and we can discuss anything. So that's a good thing too. So just saying thank you. Appreciate it.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak at this time? Okay, hearing none, then adoption of the agenda. I will take a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I make the motion to adopt the agenda as printed. I support that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries. We have an agenda. Action, wait, did I? Okay, just making sure to imprint this on the back. Motion, action item. Motion to approve entering into a one-year marketing contract with Advantage Commercial Real Estate for the marketing of the West Street Business Park project. To authorize the city manager to undertake all actions necessary to market such properties for sale and development.
So I've been working with The Right Place, which is a Grand Rapids-based economic development group that we're part of, and they've recommended to us this group called Advantage Commercial Real Estate, which I'm hoping will help us sell the properties on West Street as part of our ongoing business park development. They have presented to us a one-year marketing contract, which is the standard contract for 6% sales price. They're highly professional. I've met with them a couple times. They really know what they're doing. So what I'm looking for is a motion to approve, allowing me to work with them. I am undertaking some additional work to make sure that everything's going to go smoothly before I want to sign it. So I could bring it back to you guys at a future date if you wanted to, but we could move things a little bit quicker if you guys.
Several questions, and I just want to preface on the top of this. This is unlike buying or selling other property we might just use for a park, or this has some very specific restrictions and requirements because this is the previous brownfield that has been capped by the EPA, that has all kinds of thou mustn'ts and all kinds of thou musts attached federally, and that's part of why we're using the folks that we're using and the contracts that we're using to ensure that it is handled in that capacity. So with that said, questions?
So there's what, parcel A through? Oh no, there's numbers. So 5 parcels.
Kind of. So
Kind
it
of.
gets complicated quickly.
Okay, so that's okay. I don't need to know anything much about that because I can see it sketched out.
And
But
it's a guess.
it's a guess. But my question is, how long is that percentage tacked on to the sell?
So it's a one-year marketing contract. So if they bring somebody to purchase our properties within 1 year,
It's not after that fact. Okay,
well, there are some
Kind of.
laws that
Okay.
basically say that if the city were to undertake some kind of fraudulent, activity whereby we have somebody approach us and say, we want to buy it in year 11th month or something, we say, just wait 2 months.
yeah, wait till the 13th.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I anticipate these properties will sell quickly.
Okay, I think that,
So in the event that it were, I don't know, the real estate market were to tank, or there were no buyers that are able or willing to meet the requirements of this EPA grant, and
Within
it
it.
just sits there, we pay nothing.
okay,
I mean, it's 6% on the sale.
okay. Yeah, thank you.
My question is, we've been discussing that corner on this with the Covels, whether they can use it or buy it or lease it or license it. And have we settled that? Can we actually advertise that portion of that property available?
This is part of why it gets complicated quickly.
Yeah,
So originally, the city had anticipated holding on to that westernmost portion because we have a number of testing wells there. But the marketing folks at Advantage are of the opinion that if we were able to bundle that portion with the rest of the property, that it would significantly increase the value of this property for various reasons.
And we maintain easement.
So we're working with the attorneys and the city engineer to determine whether we can just hold on to an easement instead and just sell the property. Now, I don't know what this board wants to do with the Covels. I've tried to work with them. It's very, very difficult to work with them. I have put together, me personally in my time, put together a license that we could offer them. It's going to be on your agenda in 7 days. The problem is if we don't own the property, I don't think a license will extend into the future beyond our ownership of it. Now, if we wanted to, we could spend city public money to get our attorneys to do something for this, person who lives outside of our city. But I personally don't think that's a good use of our money. So we have attempted to get the Covilles to do some work on this and I don't know if they refuse or they're unable or unwilling to do what I would ask them to do. But I'm trying the best that I can to do what we can for them. But they're not my highest priority in the sale of this property.
Right, but if we were to say, well, as a city, we're gonna sell that piece of property, would that spur them on to say, let's figure it out, where they still wanna use it?
I hope so.
I mean, and they can buy it if they, I mean, there's nothing,
I just hate to advertise that it's for sale if it's not for sale,
well, it kind of probably needs to be for sale.
Well, as long as you're talking about that one, I did have a couple of questions on it, Mike, and I don't have the answer myself, but does that constitute a flag lot? Which there are some regulations that prevent them.
So you mean our lot?
That one that circles up and around behind the properties that the Cobles are interested in.
Yeah.
Looks like there's an easement from West Street that goes back there, circles around and just creates an area back on there where you want to hold on to.
Sure.
Does that constitute a flag lot?
Well, the county accepted it and our assessor, offered it and he knows the law fairly well.
And that's fine. I just know that there was some things and I can't remember where it is, just running across it and what I do.
I think we
I know there's
specifically
some problems
measured it
with-
to make sure it wasn't flag lot.
Okay.
It was a flag lot.
It
Flag
can't be,
lot is exactly what it looks like, a long stem with something that juts out on the side of it. It just looks like a flagpole with a flag on it.
which makes it so you
Oh.
can't access a piece of it if you, like it,
It's basically putting two houses right in front of each other. There's a
Mhm.
couple of them on North Fifth Street.
Mhm.
And at some point in the recent past, the state legislature.
Yeah, oh yeah, right. The newer house.
Yes.
Right,
Right,
yeah.
so, and it's not that they don't exist in the city, because they do, like a lot of
but you
other things.
can't,
but-
you can't make new pieces of property.
Right,
that do
and that's
that.
what I didn't know how that fell in with it, so,
Got all sorts of attorneys telling me what I can and can't do, so.
and no real harm intended here. Attorneys like to tell you that. That's all. So, because that's what you're paying them for.
No, I'm pretty sure everything's kosher, but as far as the Cobles are concerned, if they wanted to spend their money to attempt to help us solve this issue, which is part of the problem, is I think they want the city to spend the city's money to
Mhm.
solve their issue for them.
Right.
I just don't think that's appropriate. Now, you guys can tell me otherwise if you want, but right now, I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah,
I think your perception is correct.
and didn't we say, or we heard that was too deep, it couldn't be,
So,
they couldn't own it or something?
so they have a cousin who has a second cousin who has a friend who has a whatever, who's an attorney who says that it's totally okay to do. I said, please present me a legal memorandum indicating as such with some attorney's name on it. I've yet to receive that. As far as I can tell, it is not legally permissible.
The depth of width is 4-to-1 ratio that the state maintains.
Right.
So again, so you can't like buy a, little tiny,
So I think we could sell them approximately 25 feet, but they want, I think, 125. So. Now, what I'm offering, at least what I've written for your meeting next time, is a license to use that property.
Mhm.
I just don't know if somebody who were to buy the property from us would be willing to honor that. But as far as the city's concerned, I think that's a fair and reasonable offer.
Yeah, I'm just not comfortable with approving this,
Well, at this point, all you're approving, what I'm asking you to approve
Mhm.
is to allow me to work with these people to
Okay.
start marketing the property. At some future date, you guys will then be given the option to accept an offer on a sale of the property.
and these specific chunks
Mhm.
are not necessarily what,
how it's gonna be
how it
divided.
will be divided. I mean,
So-
this is a, in theory proposal,
Yeah.
thus the Sharpie marker and the lines, of what they think will work.
Actually, that's what I thought would work.
Okay,
Now I'm being told I'm wrong by the marketing people, so.
well, there you go.
So they're the people that should know, but city did sell the bus place a little chunk off of that, so.
Their property is wider,
It's
so it
wider.
accommodates the 4-to-1 ratio. This
Okay.
property is very narrow and doesn't.
Okay. Just,
More questions on this? Okay, I will take a roll call vote.
Gotta make a motion.
Oh, yeah, a motion would be helpful. I
I'll
would
make,
entertain a motion.
I make the motion to approve entering into a 1-year marketing contract with Advantage Commercial Real Estate for the marketing of the West Street Business Park project and authorize the city manager to undertake all actions necessary to market such properties for sale and development.
Do I have a second? Any other discussion? So I'll take a roll call. Ms. Atchison,
Yes.
Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Ms. Hamel,
Yes.
Ms. Powell,
Yes.
and Mayor Conley votes yes. So there we go. Discussion items. Discussed on the proposed apartment complex development at 1,004, I don't know, 14300 White Creek Avenue. There you go.
So I put this on your agenda and then subsequent to that, I had a discussion with the developers and they're not ready to discuss this issue.
Okay,
Basically what happened is, as you guys are aware, we had a meeting about the pass-through versus the, I think it's 2.5 mils that the township takes under the 425
Right.
agreement area.
which we had asked you to do.
Yeah.
We had asked you to go find out about Solon.
Yep, so exactly. So, they then approached Solon, and had a discussion with them, which I got a briefing on today from Jared Belka, the attorney for this issue. And I believe we've come to a resolution, but the township wanted to have a full board vote on it. And that discussion that they had was yesterday. So I thought I'd have a discussion today and give you guys the good news, but their next meeting's Monday. So I'm hoping that,
Thursday.
yeah, we're hoping to put this on next Thursday.
Good enough. Anybody have questions?
Motion to table? I don't know.
Well, it's not, it's a discussion item.
Okay, good.
So, but if there's other questions,
No.
then, all right. So at this time, we are going to take a motion to move into closed session under section 8H of the Open Meetings Act to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute. Section 13 parentheses 1G of the Freedom of Information Act exempts from public disclosure information or records subject to the attorney-client privilege. Do I have a motion to go into closed session? Second?
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
It was there.
We will go into, motion carries. We will go into closed session. Yes.
Because this has to be, I think, a 3/4 vote. We'd feel safer if you did a roll call.
You want a roll call? We can do that. Ms. Atchison,
Yes.
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Ms. Hamel,
Yes.
Ms. Powell. Sorry, I'm trying to skip over names.
Yes.
And Mayor Conley votes yes. Motion carries 5-0. And we will adjourn until, what do you need? 5 minutes?
Have a short adjournment for 5 minutes and then go into closed session.
Does that work for everybody? So we will adjourn now and we will come back into closed session at 7:28. So
Make it
sound good? 7:30?
Mhm.
We're adjourned.